Okay guys, back up on the Porsche today, Sunday, and I've just come up to see how the seam sealant has dried. It's still a little bit tacky, so I'm wondering after 24 hours whether I should actually put the stone chip over it or not. I'm not 100% sure, so what I've done just to give it a bit more time is I've just started on some of the very, very light bubbles that I found underneath the wing. It's actually on both sides. So you can see where I've rubbed down. This isn't rust, that's just a dark patch, but you can see here, you can see the remnants of it in the metal. And I'm just going to tape this up and go over it with a spot primer and then get some color on it later. So I've got this all taped up and cleaned up, so I'm just gonna spray it now. I actually went over those parts again. In fact, in the camera, it still looks pretty bad in there. I'm going to go over that one more time. I found another couple down this side as well. So, yeah, I went over it with, what did I go over it with? 180 and 355. Bearing in mind, this is under the wing, so you won't see it. But I'll still try and get a nice finish on it. Okay, so I'll let that go off for about 15 minutes. And I'll give it one more coat, and then I'm probably going to take the plastic off. Actually, I should probably put a top coat on there, but I don't know what I'm going to put on there yet. But I don't want to let the paint dry with the tape around it because that will leave quite a nasty seam otherwise. But yeah, not too bad. So just to give you an idea on the other side. It doesn't look too bad from a distance, but then when you start, I mean, it's not that bad anyway, but it's just me being, not nitpicking, but it's just like, you know, while I've got all these body panels off, it's worth trying to prevent as much corrosion as you can. So let me try and get some of them in focus for you. There you go, that's pretty good. And of course, when you take some sandpaper to this, these big patches, they sort of flake off. And then underneath there's the corrosion, you can see it coming through. Actually, this side's worse than the other side. Surprisingly, really, because in England, that side is the near side, you know, with all the potholes in the side of the road and where all the water runs. So I'm surprised this side is worse. But anyway, so I'm gonna rub this down, tape this up and paint this too. This just gives you an idea. I've just been over it with a pad here. This little pad, literally, you know, a minute. And it starts to show up really where the beginnings of that corrosion really is, you see. It's just like the surface of the moon, actually. Same color too. But yeah, you can really, look, there you go. Down here as well. So it's a really good time to be getting all of this onset of corrosion. Okay, so considering actually how much more there is on this side, in comparison to that side over there, I actually just took the wire wheel to it, and that's a much quicker way of doing it, obviously. In hindsight, I guess I would have done it on the other side as well, because I was doing it all by hand, which took a while. I haven't gone all the way down, but I'm going to sand the rest, I think. So I got this side all cleaned up here. As I say, more on this side than there was on the other. So yeah, I'm going to tape this up now and get this painted too. Okay, all masked up and ready for some paint. I've also just cleaned it with some brake cleaner. Here we are. First of two coats. I think I'm going to put some grey top coat on when I'm done, actually. Both sides. As I say, it'll blend in better with what's there. And these are under the wings, so you won't see them anyway. Okay, so that is the first coat of the top coat. It's a grey gloss, obviously. And I've just done that one now, so I'm going to leave that 15-20 minutes to dry. And I also, straight after it, did the second coat of the undercoat or primer of that side. So, and also, which was a massive bonus, let me just go around here and show you. When I ordered the stone chip online, it was this 4CR 5400, and I took that from the one we used before, which was this. And this one is 1,000 milliliters, so a litre of the stuff. And it's one for a spray gun. But this one, when I ordered it, and I didn't realise online, this is just a normal rattle can. So I was pretty pissed off with that, because it was quite a lot of money. But then when I was rooting through the cupboard over there for actually the grey top coat, I found this and 2 pots of it, which is really good stuff. This is the original Porsche stone chip, which they use, they say, at the factory, 3M 08879. So I was really pleased I found that, because again, this was chuffing expensive, and I had it in the cupboard the whole time. That's the issue with projects, you know, once they start running over years, you forget what you buy. And I'm sure I'm not alone with that, because, you know, you look around the garage, there's the shelves over there, there's shelves over there, there's shelves behind me here, and there's just tons of stuff. And over the years, you know, you just think, oh, I'm going to buy that because I'll need that soon. And also parts, you know, in the back there, you end up forgetting what you've bought. So I'm really pleased I found that, because I was going to use that rattle can for the stone chip, because a guy I know said it would be fine. You just have to go over it slower than you would usually, and so it builds it up. But I was thinking, oh, I don't really fancy that. But then I found that, so I'm really pleased with that. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that paint to dry over there, I'm just taking out the cats from the box, because although they've been shot blasted, and they're nice and clean, the plater didn't plate them, so I'm going to send them back to get them plated. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll up these cables here from these sensors, and then put bags over them so they can actually plate it, because these do not come out, or they don't on mine anymore anyway. Okay, so I just put the second coat on this one and the first coat on that one. So I want to take the there we go. I'm happy with that. It doesn't blend in with that at all, but it doesn't matter at all, because obviously it's in areas which aren't seen. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so that is both sides done now. I've actually got to go home because it's getting late. It's Sunday as well. Got to work tomorrow. So that is that. I've just got to, unfortunately, I've got to just leave the office, the workshop pretty untidy, which I don't like doing, but anyway, I've also had a look at these here, and I found a solution of a way to block up these holes. So these holes are 50 millimeters in diameter, and I used a drill to cut some 50 millimeter discs, and then used some sealant to push them in there. So I don't know if that'll work, because oh, my wife's calling. Hang on. Yep, I've definitely got to be at home, so I've got to go now. What was I saying? Yeah, so I cut some discs there, banged them in with a hammer very lightly, and then put some sealant around them, just to see maybe if that would work in the plating bath. But maybe they run them through a vat of acid first, and that'll eat all that away. So I don't know. I've done one, and then typically my drill broke. God, you find a solution so close to the end. I found some sealant as well, which is like, you know, hen's teeth around here. And yeah, so I've only got one done, but I'm going to send those off on Monday and see what he says. Guys, so I've got to call it a day there now. I'm pretty pleased with the afternoon's progress. I haven't had long here today, really. And it's funny, you know, those sorts of jobs that you sort of put off because you don't really want to do. And to be honest, this job was one of those jobs I don't know. It's funny how things go in your head, but that was just a job I wasn't really looking forward to doing. But having done it now, I'm really pleased that I've done it. I also found that stone chip, which was another bonus. So I've got to leave it this week, unfortunately, because I'm traveling. I'm going to the south of France on Tuesday. Got to prepare for that on Monday. I've got a new project down there, and then I've got to go across to another yard over in Holland, and then after that, I've got to go and visit another project of ours in another yard in Holland. So it's a really busy week this week. I'll basically be gone the whole week. So I'll be back on this next Saturday. But until then, take care and I'll see you soon.